Guess what time it is? It's Reading with RPG Grandma, the Book of Artifacts. Page 3, continuing the fumbles and bad stuff page. Okay. Temporary penalties to base chance of success for all magical items. Negative 10% or less structural damage depends on the degree of damage. Negative 45% or less surface damage, dirt, rust, scratches, etc., depends on the degree of damage and type of object, i.e., in other words, a sword can take more scratches than a mirror. Negative 5, acute, overwork. For each successive turn or round, if it a melee, that the object is used without a chance to rest at least one turn or round. Negative 5, chronic overwork. For each successive 24-hour period when the object was used more than 10 times. Negative 10%, abuse of tenstoffel. Used for purposes its maker never planned or in a way that unbalances the game. Percentage is cumulative per each use. Negative 10% or DM option, abuse of alignment. Used for the purpose violating its alignment against spirits, old friends, etc. Amount is Dungeon Master's option. Against its own god or his followers, it has a negative 50%. This percentage is cumulative per such use. So basically, you can break your magical item by inappropriately using it. Negative 10% or DM option, personal abuse. If the personal feelings or vanity of the spirit are insulted, he may sulk or sabotage. Percentage is cumulative per such use. All details, Dungeon Master's option, see page XXXXX. Okay, negative 100%. Impossible command. When asked to do something, the book states it cannot. The object will always fumble. That's very logical. Normally, Dungeon Master option, when the cause of a temporary penalty is corrected, the penalty ceases. Repairing structural damage fully may, at Dungeon Master's option, require a wish. Rest from overwork requires 2 periods of rest for each 1 period of overwork. In other words, if used more than 10 times in 124 hours, it must rest 48 hours. If used 3 melee rounds in a row, it must rest for 6 melee rounds. Abuse requires apology plus a penance of Dungeon Master's option. So you got to make up with your magical gizmo. Maybe there's stuff you have to acquire to fix it. Maybe you got to do something to recharge it. I mean, yeah, there's lots of things we could require. Permanent penalties to base chance of success for improperly constructed magical items. Object inappropriate to function. Negative 10% type. Negative 10% material. Negative 5% color. Negative 10% decoration. Spirit inappropriate to function. Negative 5% too smart. Smart animal, humanoid, or demon, etc. in item with boringly simple function. Spirit's bored. Negative 10% too dumb. See temporary penalties if spirit has wrong personality or wrong alignment, or he will always feel abused. Fumbles during teaching of spell. Negative 100% for learning spell on a fumble. Negative 20% for each fumble witnessed before learning. Other results of improper construction require no rolling. We recall the mage who made a flying carpet using the only summoning spell he knew, a summoned poltergeist. It had penalties as above, plus a constant bumpy ride. For other examples, see page 5, 6, 10, 13, and 26. Results of fumbles with penalties. When a magic item with penalties fumbles, the Dungeon Master may use the general fumble table for any other table he likes. However, the editor suggests that the fumble result be specifically designed to fit the crime. In other words, a crooked staff of healing would heal a broken bone crookedly. An overworked object might give too little results, or none, or delayed. An abused object might backfire on its user or give an opposite effect. When more than one penalty applies, the largest will usually determine the result, or the result may combine all factors, or the DM may simply rule as for an impromptu spell. For example, see page XXXXX. Each time an object with penalties fumbles, for each 10% of total penalty, there is 1% that it will become permanently crocked. In other words, if penalties total 120%, the chance of permanent crockery is 12%. Results are Dungeon Master's option or use the crockery table. 91 to 100. Spirit leaves and another moves in. 89 to 90. Object develops random side effects. See page XXX. 81 to 85. All current penalties become permanent. 61 to 80. All future fumbles will have same result. 41 to 60. 100% to fumble. Results will always be same. 36 to 40. 100% to fumble. Fumble results, Dungeon Master's option. 21 to 35. Spirit moves to another object. Results, Dungeon Master's option. 1 through 20. Spirit becomes insane. Use the insanity tables or see Handbook of Traps and Tricks by Dragon Tree. And that finished the Fumble Magic Construction Rules section completely. We did it. All right. So armor. Armor. Harpy's Revenge by Dana. Wholesales 5,000, retails 7,000. Rare trap. Resembles very good armor of any type. The armor detects as magic and is +1. But when it is put on, it locks so that it cannot be removed by normal means, and the victim feels thousands of feathers tickling him all over. I think I did this one last time, but let's just continue in case I didn't. To keep from being incapacitated by laughter, the victim must save on Constitution the first round, Constitution -1 the second round, etc. When he fails, he will roll helplessly until freed, whooping loudly. Cutting off the armor will take 5 rounds per AC below 10 if the victim is cooperating. 7 rounds per AC if he is rolling. Helmets of Transference, also by Dana. It's a pair. Wholesales 50,000, retails 70,000. Very rare trap. Identical jeweled helmets radiate magic. Each helmet improves the wearer's AC by 1. As soon as both helmets are worn at once, but by different people, of course, the souls of the wearers are exchanged. Intelligent wisdom, personal memories go with the soul. All the other stats and skills remain with the body. The helmets work only once for any given combination of victims. However, a person who was part of one pair could become a partner in a new swap. Okay, Freaky Friday. Figure out how to get yourself swapped back, but you can't just reverse the helmets. Oh, Oh, fun. Fun, fun, fun. All right. Let's see. Arrows of Sleep. This one was by Ben and Dana. Wholesales 40,000, retails 60,000. Very rare arrows of moonlight. Anyone hit by an arrow of sleep must save on Constitution or fall asleep. Elves, etc. included. The only way to waken him is by a kiss from a person of the opposite sex with a charisma of 18 or greater, or by a wish. Arrow does no damage. The arrows appear to be formed by moonbeams, but will vanish when the moon sets and reappear at moonrise. These are made only by the moon lords. Bow. Let's see what we got here. Werebow. This one was by Mary. It wholesales 2,500, retails 3,500. Rare crossbow decorated with pictures of lycanthropes. This crossbow was made by a werewolf. When fired at any lycanthrope, it always jams. It is +1 versus normal humans, elves, etc. So there's something for the werefolk. And because it's +1, you know it's going to radiate magic. People are just going to think magic crossbow. Yeah, those are cool. Okay, so we've got like next episode we'll do lots more armor and arrows and bows, and we'll probably be able to knock this out in a couple episodes and move on to miscellaneous weapons. And I'll probably do swords. So like alternate between those two things. Drugs and potions is a long thing. Maybe I should do miscellaneous weapons and drugs and potions. Furnishings looks awesomely fun. We got amulets, jewelry, rings. Yeah, I told you there's the rings of power in here. Yeah. We got little sigils too on the rings. And we got a random Acronian effects. We'll have to check that out. We've got, in the back, we've got generation tables. And then we have, of course, there's the index page, which is nice. They actually have 2 different indexes so you can look stuff up just for you interested. Like, even though I'm reading the book, like if you wanted, how useful is the book, like night and day. This book is way easier to work through than, say, Eldritch Wizardry. But you still might want Eldritch Wizardry, but you've already gotten the warning if you watched my psionics videos, how you have to approach that book to pull out all the information. And, eventually I'll probably come back to that book and go, okay, let's conquer alternate combat forms, or let's conquer druids, or, whatever else is in there. Because you got to do exactly the same thing I did with the psionics in that book. But I'm hoping these are interesting subjects that you guys like, getting a look at the old materials so if you're going to go out and try to find this, if it's something you really want. I love this old stuff, so it's all good to me, even when it's flawed. Like one of the monsters I'm going to eventually do comes from Rolaids module. And we're going to have to make stats for it. And I think that's going to be like a special Monster Monday, like what to do when they forgot to put something in the monster manual, but the module or the they reference it and it's not there at all. What do you do? So, there's no source material that you can pull. How do you salvage that, especially when it's like an adventure that you bought, you know? How to do that. So, because I think people hit that stuff and sometimes they go, oh my goodness, what do I do? Because you're going to have to fix it when you run into those kind of problems. Or the rules make no sense, they're broken, whatever the deal is. So I want to try to help people move through those problems because they're going to happen. I don't care what game you play. I don't care how well it's been tested or not, how long it's been in publication. There's always going to be rules that are interpreted differently by different people, or just, hey, it said this thing exists, but it never appeared. So what do we do? It just happens. It's just one of the things. Anyway, everybody have a great Monday, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.